I'm so very excited you're able to join us today for our presentation on the Collat School of Business. I know we've got family members that are joining us both through the Zoom platform as well as off of our Facebook Live platform today. So we're very excited that you're joining us and going to be able to learn a little bit more about what your student will be studying. If your student is new to UAB and is joining the Collat School of Business starting this fall. Few things that I want to mention before we get started is we do want to make sure that this is a really interactive and engaging presentation. So if you have questions about the experiences for the Collat School of Business or anything along those lines, please make sure you provide those questions to us in the Q&A function if you're watching with Zoom, or if you're watching us on Facebook Live, please just put your questions into the comments section and we will definitely work to make sure that we answer those questions today. I want to make sure though, since this is a live presentation, that when you are putting your questions in there, please be cognizant of that fact and not put any type of identifying information in for your student. This can include your student's full name, their Blazer ID, email address, anything along those lines, because we just want to make sure that we're maintaining the safety and security of all of our students. So with that being said, that is, I wanted all the information you need to know from me, and you're not here for me. You're here to learn about the Collat School of Business and all of the opportunities that are available to our UAB students. So I want to turn it over to Andrea Pound to share with you from the Collat School of Business about everything of the services that she offers to her students. Andrea?
All right. Thank you very much, Meredith. I'm very pleased to be here. Hi, everybody. So I wanted to first let you know, welcome. I hope that you're joining this webinar because that means that your students, you have children that are coming to UAB, and we are so thrilled to have them. I am Andrea Miller-Pound. I'm the Director of Freshman Success for the Collat School of Business at UAB. I work specifically with all freshmen that are business majors coming to the school. We have created this position last year and it's been very successful, and I love what I do. So it's a lot of fun to be able to work with those students. I work in a team of 3 people. We work in the Welcome Center in the Collat School of Business. I work with Laura Toll, who is the Director of Transfer Student Success. And then I work with Brandon Cox, who many of you may have met through high school visits. Your students may have met them. He is the Recruitment Director for the Collat School of Business. We have an awesome team in the Welcome Center in Collat. And we have a lot of fun together, making sure that your students are recruited to UAB, and then we keep them at UAB. So with that, I want to make sure you know who our team is, and I also want to make sure what we're doing today. My hope for you is that you learn a little bit about the Collat School of Business and that you walk away with some information to help your students succeed if they are a business major or if they're any major, to be honest. I will talk about some general information for the Collat School of Business. I'm going to have a PowerPoint presentation. I'll talk about the departments, the majors, and the different academic advising functions in the Collat School of Business, and then I'll talk about resources and hopefully be able to take some questions and answer questions for you today. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with the group so we can get started. It is black now. Hopefully it's going to come up. There it is. Okay. So, am I in? Yes, here we are. All right, so we are the Collat School of Business located in the center of downtown Birmingham at UAB, the University of Alabama at Birmingham. We are very pleased. We love that where we are and where we're located, that we tell our students this is business in the real world. So we are located right in the heart of Alabama's business center with so many different business organizations and industries right just surrounding us. We offer an engaging learning environment, with classrooms that extend well beyond the borders of UAB campus, meaning that we want to connect your students with industry professionals. We want them to be able to talk to people who are doing the jobs that your students are hoping to do one day, and we're hoping for them to do one day, and we're hoping that they figure it out. We also have small class sizes. We hope that provides a meaningful connection for students with their faculty, with advisors, with the industry professionals that I've been speaking of. We like to invite them in the classroom so that students can really get a good idea about what some of this work they will be doing, hopefully. So, as I've said, we are so fortunate to be in Birmingham, and we think location is everything. We are surrounded by many business opportunities. We have Regions, BBVA Compass, we have Shipped, we have Mercedes, Protective Life. Lots of opportunities for students to get connected with these organizations and really get a good feel for what it's like to work here. And those are just a few. We have students that work at all these different organizations. With that being said, because of where we're located, year-round internships are an incredible possibility and is a real thing for many of our students. They don't have to just take summer internships. They can do internships year-round, which we think is puts our students at quite an advantage and competitive when they're on the job market. And this obviously gives networking advantages because they are able to meet and greet with so many business professionals in the Birmingham and surrounding areas, and to connect with them and interact with these seasoned professionals in and outside of the classroom. So business majors, we have 9 majors in the Collat School of Business, the newest major being Entrepreneurship that is been approved, and we already have students excited to come into the Collat School of Business as an entrepreneurship major for the fall of 2020. And for students who are not quite sure exactly what they want to do, they can come in as an undeclared business major. Many of you may have students who are undeclared business. What that means is I'm the undeclared business advisor. I work with each student that's undeclared to talk about what it's like to work in an environment and as an HR professional or as a CPA or managing an aspect of an organization. So we talk about all that, and we spend a lot of time doing that. And so that's what an undeclared business major will do. Meanwhile, taking classes that are going to help them get a business degree, never taking a class that wouldn't help them get to that degree. And business minors. Now, I think it's important to say that business majors do not have to have a minor. It is not a requirement of a business major, but there are lots of opportunities to have a business major if they want a business minor if they would like to. And we also think that it's important for students who are not business majors to consider taking a business class or minoring in business. So we have a large variety of minors that you can see listed on the screen as well. So something that I just love, and because students are why I do what I do, we really put our students in positions to be leaders, not only in the Collat School of Business, but in the community and on our campus. Jacob here, who is pictured, is one of our students that was the CEO of our UAB Green and Gold Fund. It's one of our many organizations where students can really get involved with what it's like to be an investor. This organization, it's raised over almost $600,000 in real money. It's a student-run portfolio that they work to invest. They're an award-winning organization. They've got it together. You can see Jacob in his suit here in the Bloomberg lab. He just graduated with a fantastic job. So lots of our students are doing things like that. For students who don't want to go into the business, the finance world, which a lot of people think of business as, there's Human Resource Management Group. There is the Beta Alpha Psi. There's the Collat Student Business Leaders, which are like ambassadors for the organization, and then Business Peer Mentors. If you have freshmen coming to UAB that are business majors, they'll be connected with a Business Peer Mentor. And our Collat Career Center. We are so fortunate to have our very own Career Center in the Collat School of Business. It is right in the front door when you walk into the Collat School of Business, to the right, across from the Welcome Center. 4 dedicated professionals working with your students from the time they walk onto campus as a freshman and getting them to graduation and prepping for job interviews. They work with our students with career advice. They help them with resume building. They do practice interviews, training. They help them network. The picture that you see here is a group of students that toured Shipped right here in Birmingham to learn about what the headquarters, what do they do at Shipped? What do they do at the headquarters to set them apart as an organization that these students should want to come work for? They've taken a group of students to Atlanta on a big bus. They took them to Atlanta and they talked to the Atlanta Hawks. They've done so many different tours to connect students to these organizations. There's nothing like going into an organization and getting to ask the question, what do you really do on a day-to-day basis? It's very different than someone just talking about it, than being able to go on campus of an organization and seeing what it's like. And the Collat Career Services also hosts our very own Collat Business Career Fair for all the businesses and professionals in this area and outside of the area that want to come in and talk to our students. Gosh, we're so fortunate. We have over 45 companies that have come in and they just want to talk to our students. I encourage freshmen to go to these events so that they can start getting a good feel for what it's like to network. It takes a while. It takes practice to interview and to network and to smile and say hello if you're not used to doing that kind of thing. So I love that we offer this, and our Collat Career Services is just a fantastic group of professionals that help connect your students. And now, I wanted to talk to you about academic advising. So what is an academic advisor? An academic advisor works specifically with the students on an individual basis to make sure that they are registering for the classes that they A, need to take, B, helps them progress toward a degree, and also fits in smoothly with their lifestyle. You know, lots of students do lots of different things. You'd be amazed to find out so many incredible things that our students are doing. And so an academic advisor is going to be that person that works with your student, hopefully meets with the student at least once per semester to help guide them and tell them what classes they should take the next term. Each department, again, so fortunate, we have 3 departments in the Collat School of Business. Each department has 2 separate academic advisors that advise the 9 different majors within our school. So we have the Accounting and Finance department that advise the ACFN majors, you'll hear us say. You will have your MIDE department, which is Marketing, Industrial Distribution, and Economics majors. We have 2 advisors there. And then the MISQ department, which is Management, Information Systems, and Quantitative Methods, which houses our Management, Human Resource Management, IS, and the new Entrepreneurship major. So each department has 2 different advisors that work with them, and we call them major advisors. I am the Freshman Success Advisor. So as the Director of Freshman Success for the Collat School of Business, I work with any freshman that's an incoming business major. And once we've gone through a year of really figuring out what it is a student has selected for their major, talking about what it's like to be a first-year student and what it's like to be a business student, and why is that different than it would be for any other student on campus anywhere, to be honest. So I work with them very intensely, I guess some of the students would probably say. I want to make sure they're going to class. I check in with them frequently. I want to make sure they're getting what they need to have this smooth transition to UAB and to the Collat School of Business. It's important, and we want to make sure that we keep them here and that they are getting what they need so that they can transition to UAB and be successful. Now, once a student has gone through their whole first year, first and second semester, they start to transition with their major advisor. And these are the advisors that I mentioned earlier. They will be assigned an advisor based on their major, based on their department, and then they will see that. And I'll talk extensively with the students about who their major advisor is. We even have an event called Meet Your Major Advisor, and we have lots of departmental events. So there are opportunities for them to make the smooth transition. And we also have Laura Tull. Laura is the new Director of Transfer Student Success. You may have seen a great article that went out on Facebook and Instagram and all the social networks about the creation of this position. She is working very hard with our transfer student population, helping make sure that prospective transfer students that are coming to UAB from community colleges have a smooth transition here. So she works to make sure that those students are taken care of as well. And then the Director of Recruitment, which many of you I mentioned earlier may have met, Brandon. If a student, maybe you have another child or a sibling or someone that you know is interested in coming to UAB and they want to just schedule a interest meeting or a tour or sit in on a class, Brandon is your guy. He's the one that you're going to want to call so he can help connect you to Collat. And resources. So this is something that I really wanted to make sure that you saw today and that you know what's out there for your students and for you to see. We have lots of different resources within the Collat School of Business. I'm going to save this link for the last because I want to take us to this website page and show you as parents how you can look at some of the things that I think will interest you and so that you can help your students find the resources there. So in the Collat Welcome Center, we have the Collat Tutor Lab. I actually manage that lab as well. We have a group of students that are high achieving students typically and do well in the classes that they're tutoring, obviously. And it's typically in the business school, it's going to be more of our analytical courses. They're working with accounting, economics, finance, a lot of those classes for students to get a little extra help. If maybe they don't understand a concept, they can talk with a student who already has been through that class and knows what the concepts are and can help explain it a little bit easier. There's no appointment necessary to come tutored. You just walk in, hey, I need help with economics, and we match you up with a tutor that's available that can help you. So no appointments necessary. It's free for our business students. Again, it's just a great resource for our students. Collat Career Services. I talked a lot about Collat Career Services. They are an office that your student is going to need to get to know where is it and who the professionals are that are working in there. They will even give you resume paper if their students need it. They help with so many different things. So connect with them from the time your freshman walks in the door or your transfer student or whoever. If they're a senior, it's almost too late, but send them anyway. We want to make sure that our students are connected with the Collat Career Services so that they can get start networking from day one. And then we have Collat Student Services. And this is a whole group of people, including academic advisors and communication specialists and people that are going to help get your students what they need to be successful. So now I'm going to go to this web page. Now it's called the Collat Freshman Success web page. It is geared toward freshmen. However, I think any parent, any student could find this page successful. Find this page helpful. And yes, it says freshman success, but if you go down, first of all, there's tons of links that you can click on. Some of the more important links that I think you'll want to find is you've got this frequently asked questions with tons of different general information about.
I apologize. I'm going to tell you that you need to also tell it to share your other screen because it's just showing right now. So it has.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I sure didn't. There it is. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, everyone. Okay, now can we see it?
We got it.
All right. Thank you so much, Meredith. All right. So now the Freshman Success webpage. And I have that page and I'm going to get you to bookmark it. I'll tell you sometimes it's easy just to go to Google Collat Freshman Success and this will come up. But I have the website when I go back to the presentation in a moment. So you can go here, and I think some of the more important things you're going to want to look for is the frequently asked questions, lots of different questions, mainly about the general Collat questions and answers, of course. Recommended classes. This is going to be more for a freshman or a parent of a freshman, what their first year will look like. And then you have student resources. And I'm going to click on it in a minute. But on this page, you're going to have different students' videos to tell about their experience. You're going to see the different events that we have for our freshmen, and the Meet the Major events that I talked about. And we even have an event where the students can meet the dean. The dean comes in and speaks, and it's a highly successful and fun event, and the dean loves it because he gets to talk and shake the hands and meet all the freshmen, so it's kind of cool. If you want to find out more about me and who I am, there's a link to an article here, and it kind of outlines a little bit more about what freshman success looks like. And then we've got some quotes from some parents. So I definitely encourage you and your student to go to this page. I want to also bring your attention to student resources. So student resources, when you click here, it's got an awesome article about Laura, who just started in, I believe, November in this position. And this page has so much information that I think any student, any parent could benefit from. So not only does it have our social media connected to the page, so you can see what's going on. I think there's a picture of, the orientation from a couple of days ago where me and the orientation leaders were there. One of my first orientations where I took a selfie with the freshmen in the Zoom call. Some of our students that have gotten job opportunities, they've graduated. This is Victor. He was a tutor and an incredible finance student in the Collat School of Business, and he's gone on to do some really cool things and was offered a job. So this is just a great place to kind of see what our students do, make it more personal. But then on the left side, you'll see some more information. And again, I want parents and students and anybody to be able to come to this page. We think it's important. So here's the academic advising button. You click on this button and you're going to be able to see what your major advisor looks like and who, what they do and who they advise. Let's see. The Collat Career Center, you can click there and it's going to take you to, I thought I clicked there. There. It's going to take you to information about how do you contact them, how do you contact employers, what do students need to do, employers connect here so they can connect with our school. And then of course we also have our social media widgets on there. So again, lots of information on the Collat Student Success website. I am going to stop sharing and go back to the presentation with, there it is. With this website, if you would like to write it down, uab.edu, it's kind of long, /business home freshman-success. Again, if that's too long, I Google UAB, or no, what do I Google? UAB Collat Freshman Success, and it should be the first thing that pops up. Well, I have gone through my presentation fairly quickly. I wanted to make sure that I left a lot of time so that you could ask me questions if you wanted to.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Andrea, for doing this. So for our family members, we want to make sure that we've got your questions answered related to anything. Andrea has quite the breadth of knowledge relating to all things Collat and question-wise there. So if you've got questions, if you're watching us through Zoom, you put the questions into the Q&A function. If you're watching us through Facebook Live, if you just put it into the comment section, we are monitoring both of those sessions to ensure that we are being able to provide all the critical information. Andrea, while we're waiting for people to kind of ponder and gather their questions and thoughts right now, if there was one tip that you would highlight to family members, you want to make sure that they know that they need to do to help their student get started off this fall on the right foot, what do you think that particular question would, or that one tip or key thing should be?
And that's an incredible, man, there's so many different things I can answer to that. I would say number one, attend events. Attend the events that are focused on freshmen, and we also have things that are focused on transfer students and on student success. So we have a Collat Success series where it's how do you pay for college? How do you get scholarships? There is Meet Your Major Advisor, which I mentioned earlier, but it's also, we also have time where any Collat student can meet with an advisor to get them connected and help them register for classes, because it can be pretty intimidating sometimes. So I would say attend things. Do not be shy about attending and making yourself known. Say hello to people. Say hello to the faculty members, career services, that kind of thing.
Great. And still giving people some time to ponder their questions, because I know it can be hard to come up with it right on the spot with everything.
And they can always email me later. I mean, I have parents that email me quite a bit. There's so many different tips that I could give during orientation this summer with my incoming freshmen. It's funny because the way we're doing orientations now through Zoom, I always notice parents in the corner whispering to their child and help, or sometimes even speaking for their child. I recommend, if you can, try to let your student answer and ask the questions, and try to let your students start doing those things for themselves. It is hard. I would like to say, well, you know what, probably 5-6 years ago, I would always say I don't understand why parents are doing this. I have a new senior in high school. I have already tried to take over her world, and I need to stop. I've got to let her do some things for herself, because she is going to be so dependent on me. But so I know it's hard, but I think some of those kind of things, starting to help your child gain some independence, it's a gift. It really is, and it's hard, but that's an important tip. I think that parents, I have parents that email me and ask questions. How much do I really need to be involved in orientation, Andrea? And I tell them straight up, parents need to be involved in their kids' education. College students whose parents are involved, they graduate at a higher rate. But talk to your student about what it is they want. Talk to their student, do you want me sitting here? And if they do, by all means, support them. Sometimes just having you by their side is important. But just try to let them answer the questions. Sometimes maybe before orientation starts, maybe talk it over with the student. What kind of questions do you think you'd like to ask, and help them by asking the questions? We'd like to say that all students just have, once they turn 18, something magical happens and they just know what to do in college. That's ridiculous. It doesn't happen. The difference between a high school senior and a college freshman is 3 months. So there's not this magic thing that happens, but talk it over with your student and really help them figure out what questions they might want to ask or things they want to know.
And those are exceptionally critical things that you just said, and some of those things we did there. So, because my office, for all my family members that are watching to understand, is here for you specifically. Yes. We at the university as a whole value our family members and engagement so much so that there's created an entire office. We want you connected and engaged. What Andrea said is very true. Our family members who are connected and supporting their students are receiving a higher GPA and they're graduating at a higher rate. We're retaining them. They're more satisfied with their experience. It is that management of what does that engagement look like that Andrea is mentioning that's so critical, is how do you balance those out? So some of the ways that family members can do that is doing exactly what you're doing today. It's learning about the institution, learning about the resources, and having this knowledge just to sit in your back pocket. Because regardless of how many resources and opportunities we are able to offer to our students at UAB, of which there is an immense plethora, from everything from advising to health to wellness to anything else in between, involvement and engagement. There's just so many things for students to connect with. But when students have a question, a concern, a problem, and anything along those lines, the first people they're always going to turn to is going to be that home, those family members at home. And so we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to educate you about what is happening on UAB's campus, what are the resources and opportunities that are available to our students, so that when your student does turn to you and say, you have some knowledge and you know how to then refer them back to, you should probably go talk to this person. You should go and see and chat about this, or I learned about this. And again, it puts the action steps back in their hands, but you're there to support them. And that's so critical. So I just want to acknowledge.
Absolutely. Well, and Mary, the one thing that, I like parents to know, and people probably don't believe me, but when I am talking to the freshmen about what classes they need to take the next term or what classes, even in orientation right now, I say, talk to your parents or whoever, your caregiver or whoever helps you make these decisions and make sure this is right for you. They need that encouragement, and they always need somebody that's not going to judge them, that they can go and say, my advisor told me I should take this class and I'm not sure why. First of all, students always need to ask questions. And that's funny. They always send me an email and say, I'm so sorry I'm sending so many emails. And I always tell them, never apologize for having questions about your education. You are responsible for your education. And if we misadvise you, which happens to everybody, if we tell you to take a class you've already taken, first of all, you need to know that you've already taken the class. So know that, but you need to say, hey, I think I might have taken this class. And so that there's a conversation. So, and it's not the parent, we're not going to be able to give that information to the parent as easily. So talk to the student about, yes, absolutely, you question that advisor. They thrive on student questions. That's why we're here.
It's true. It's very true. And so it's so critical. We want to keep them engaged. It's just managing those expectations. And again, as you said, it's someone there that to be there in the back corner to advocate for you, to support.
It really is.
Mm-hmm. So, actually, on top of all that, we did get a question there.
Oh, good.
Well, it's not a question, but it's just a really great comment for you, Andrea, that they appreciate the level of engagement with the students, and that their daughter hasn't stopped talking about her orientation with you, and that you made the process really easy. So.
Well, I'm glad. Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that. Tell her I miss her. I'm actually going to have a Zoom check-in. It's called Tea Time with AMP. I had a group of students help me with that title on June 24th at 6 o'clock for students who want to continue checking in. So let her know.
That's awesome. And that's the kind of dedication I think that our students will find within the School of Business, is that there are so many opportunities and across the board in many different ways to make sure that they're connected within the school, with the opportunities outside the school and beyond. So I think that's good to say. Well, I think that seems to be the only questions that are coming in right now, Andrea. So don't know that it is 6:30 at night on a Monday night. We're probably closing in at least Central Time. Family members can be watching us from all over the place.
Sure.
Compete on dinner or other opportunities. But if other questions do pop up, please don't hesitate to contact myself. Or I know Andrea is also very willing for you to email her, or the Collat School of Business is the Freshman Student Success Center. And then also families know that we want to make sure that you're connected and engaged to getting this information. So if you haven't already done so, make sure you go to uab.campusesp.com. It's on the screen behind me. I always do this on the screen behind me. To make sure that you've created your account in the Family Hub, so that way you are getting the updated information. That's also where you can connect to your students' academic records and financial records, assuming they grant you access to that. And then also that is where you can sign up for, most of you probably have already found it because this is how you signed up for this particular webinar. But that's also where we have several more webinars that are happening through the remainder of the month of June and into July, including tomorrow at 2 o'clock. There's one called Money Matters, which is about our financial aid scholarship payment process. So really critical one there. And then we'll be doing future ones on parking services later, or transportation services later this week and beyond. So make sure you go check out all that information, because information is power, and we want to make sure that everybody is ready to go for the fall semester. Andrea, I cannot say thank you enough for taking some time this evening to share with our family members opportunities and resources that are available in the School of Business. For our family members, if there are others that you want to make sure to see this information that weren't able to join you today, this presentation is actually out on the Facebook page immediately on Parent Family Services Facebook page, or it will be up on the Parent Family Services website within the next couple of days so that you can go back and rewatch it. So thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Everybody has a wonderful evening, and thank you again, Andrea, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Of course. Go Blazers.
Good night, everyone.